Good morning, everyone. Okay, I want us to start with our lesson for the day. But first, let me record the video. Let me record the lesson for us. Okay. You're here again with Mr. Kothazo, and I actually have another topic for us. I wanted us to do the corrections for yesterday's lesson. So I'll see if we can do that at the end of the lesson instead of now. Okay? So where are you now? Sure. I've already started. Okay, let me see. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Okay. Again with Mr. Kothazo, and I just want us to continue with our lessons. Yesterday's lesson was on your listening skills, and I gave you some homework. And if you don't mind, can we do the corrections? Else, we can leave the corrections to the last lesson, to the last part of this lesson. We can leave the corrections from the last lesson to the last part of this lesson. So I think that's better. What do you think? I think that's better. Okay, without wasting any time, let us continue with our lesson. Okay, at the end of this lesson, you should be able to identify landmarks on a map. Now, today we are doing visual analysis, okay? So I'm going to give you two maps. I'm going to give you two maps that I want you to look at and to visually analyze. So the first thing that we're going to do in this lesson is to identify landmarks on a map. The second thing that we're going to do, we're going to identify other key features on a map. So it's not only landmarks that are important on a map, but there are other key features of a map or on a map that we need to identify as well. These features obviously tell us that this is a map. Thirdly, we're going to analyze a map fully. So I want us to do a full analysis of a map, and I also need us to analyze and dissect it completely. So basically, when you talk about analysis, you're talking about dissecting the map, you know, stating all the different parts of a map, meaning how they differ, but also how they join together. Fourthly, I want us to state the visible differences map. Hi, Lesedi, don't worry about it. Okay, so let's continue. Right. Here is our first map. Now, I want you to look at it carefully. And I want you to tell me, what are the key features on this map? What do you see? What do you see? What do you recognize? What are you familiar with? You can start answering the questions. Just raise up your hands or share the questions in the chat box so that I can also see them. Sedi. Okay, some of the key features I see on this map are I see a forest, I see cliffs, I see a beach, I see houses. What else? I see a lot of contour lines. I see some roads. What else? Let me check how many participants we have for this lesson. Hello? Get busy with reading and viewing. Tell me what features you see. Hi, Tanisha. Okay, let us continue. Right, because no one can tell me the key features or any landmarks that they see on the text, on the picture, let us continue. Now here we have another more detailed visual, and this time the title says it's the Colorado National Landmarks Historic Site, and it's a recreation and fossil areas. It's the recreation and fossil areas. Mhm. I'm going to give you just a few minutes, let's say 20 minutes, no, let's make it 5 to 10 minutes. I want you to analyze what you see on the picture, and I'm going to ask you a few questions related to the picture. Okay. Okay. Okay, can you see the picture now? Can you? Oh, wonderful. 100%. Thank you, Refilwe. Wonderful. Let's go. So this is our first picture, okay? I just want you to tell me what different things that you can you identify on this picture. Now, this is a picture of a map. So later on, we're going to be using maps to give directions. So don't get confused. It's not geography, okay? It's just a picture of a grid map. And I'm going to show you a different kind of a map. And you're going to have to tell me the differences. But now I want you to recognize and identify the different key features of this map and also the different landmarks. Can you do that for me? Just type them for me in the comments. Okay. Okay. I see that no one is typing anything, so we're just going to continue with the lesson. Oh, okay. Wow, Tanisha. Wonderful. Okay. A ferry and a bridge. Yes. Yes, correct. Okay, let's continue. Thank you for your input, Tanisha. Let's continue with the next Okay, I want you to look at this map very carefully, okay? Tell me what features that you see on this one. Tell me what features. Tanisha, I'm really counting on you now. Okay, don't rush yourself. I'm giving you, let's say, 5 minutes just to scan through the picture. Different fossil, Summit Lake, Air Force Academy, correct. What else? Okay, try naming as many as possible, okay? As many as you can locate. And not only the landmarks, but other features that you see. Because from the first one, let's just go to the first map. There are other features that no one actually said that I can see. For example, I see a road. No one is telling me about any road. I also see, okay, in this map specifically, yes, thank you. There is a beach. Yes, I think Tanisha mentioned the beach. If not, then you're correct. You're 100% correct. So there is a beach. And there's also, if you look, these lines are called grids, okay? These are called grids. And what they do is that they help you locate features on a map, okay? A mountain peak. Yeah, don't look at the side of your screen. Try looking at the map to find the to find the feature. But correct, there's a mountain peak. Can you tell me the grid reference of the mountain peak? Mercedes? Mercedes? I just want to check if you understand what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the grid reference. 100%. Yes. Wow. Hey, no, I'm happy about that. All right, let's move on. Okay, so I'm giving you 5 minutes just to go through it so that we can go to a class activity. The following questions, okay? So the first question says, identify the key features of a map. So we're going to look at the previous map and we're going to actually identify different key features. Number 2, I want you to identify the landmarks. So there's a difference between the features and the landmarks. I want you to write the different features, but also the different landmarks. Number 3, I want you to do a full analysis of the map. So break the map into smaller pieces, write about each piece, and I want you to contrast. Tell me the difference between the relationship between the different features on the map, okay? And number 4, I want you to give directions from point A to point E. Point A being Montrose and point B being Sterling, okay? So let us start with our activity now. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for like 5 minutes while you write your answers. And then I want you to share your answers in the chat box so that I can see them, okay? And then we'll take it from there. Okay, I'm giving you another 2 minutes, and then just tell me if it's enough. Raise up your hand and tell me if it's enough time for you. Okay. We have 1 minute left. Then I want us to continue with our slides, okay? I thought we were going to share the questions, but I see. Okay, all right, no. We still have some time. So let's cover these points quickly while we still can, okay? We have around about 10 minutes left. I want us to cover these points quickly, and then I want you to consider them when you're answering question number 4. Okay, so here are key points for giving directions. These are your tips, okay? Number 1, you must use the imperative language or imperative tone. What is the imperative tone? It is an instructional tone. You're telling people what to do. You're doing it in a authoritative way. You're not asking or suggesting. You're telling them, turn left, then turn right. Not, you could turn left or try turning left. That's not how you give directions. Number 2, you must make sure that your sentences are concise, meaning short, and that they're clear. Number 3, you must use chronological order. Chronological order meaning everything must be told exactly how it happens before the other, in the sense of time. Okay. Before you turn right, you must make sure that you turn left at the junction. Don't say turn right after you turn left at the junction. Rather say turn left at the junction and then turn right at the corner. Are we clear? Okay. Okay, I already said use concise and clear sentences, chronological sentences. Okay. So, you must refer to a specific direction. This means that, for example, you must use your, head west and then head south, head east or southwest, those kind of directions. You must refer to specific directions. And then it is also important to indicate approximate distances when you're giving directions. For example, you could say, No, just after 10 meters or 2 kilometers, you know, you're going to find such and such, and then you're going to turn right or head east. Okay, then you're going to give approximate number of streets to be crossed. It's also important to use this this key point. For example, when you're giving a person directions, say after 4 streets, then you're going to find such and such a landmark or a shop or a supermarket, and then you're going to turn left at the supermarket or turn right. And then it is impossible to use words indicating position. For example, towards your right, you will see this and this, or towards your left, you will see this and that. And then use words indicating directions. We also spoke about this. We should talk about your east, west, north, southwest, southeast, and so forth. Directions. And use words to ask for directions and also show appreciation. Okay, so these are some key points when you are giving directions. So let's go to our question. And just let me know if you're done so that we can continue. I want us to cover tomorrow, yesterday's homework corrections. Okay, I guess you'll show me the answers tomorrow. It seems like we're running out of time and I don't see anyone participating at the moment. Oops. So let's do the corrections to yesterday's homework. Okay, the first question says, what is the main conflict between the narrator and the mother? What is the conflict about? So the answer is that the conflict is about whether or not she can make her own decisions. If you wrote that answer or anything related to that, especially talking about decisions, you know, her making her own decisions, then you can mark it correct. Number 2, it says what most likely happened to the car. So Tanisha, I think you're the one who spoke that she crashed the car, which was correct. So she put the car into first gear instead of reverse and crashed the car into the garage wall. Okay. So I'm giving you a star for that. And then the third question said the first person point of view in the story suggests what? So I told you to choose one answer from the following, which was number one, it hides the narrator's feelings. Number two, it shows the thoughts and personality of the narrator. Number three, it makes the narrator seem cold and distant. And number D, it lets you hear the thoughts of all the characters. So the correct answer is B. The narrator is very emotional and familiar with us. So it's very personal and it shows the thoughts, what she thinks mostly about her mother and her father. Okay, number four. The question says, how many characters are in the story? If you wrote 3, then your answer is definitely correct. Number 5 says true or false. The quotation marks around only suggest that the narrator thinks being 14 is old enough for some things. I don't know what answers you wrote there. I wish you could share them with me, but if you wrote true, then you are 100% correct. If you wrote true, you're 100% correct. Okay, so that brings us to the end of our lesson for today. Now, before I leave you, I just want to inform you of our next class, which is tomorrow's class. We're going to be doing an analysis of a poem, okay? We're going to be doing a poem analysis. It's a literary analysis. And I really hope that you enjoyed today's lesson. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Bye.